Welcome to episode 17, Fantasy and Football Podcast. We're your hosts, Colby and Chris, here to talk to you about fantasy. We might talk about football. Actually, let's just start with that. The Super Bowl happened. The Patriots got stomped.
Yep.
Seahawks defense is crazy.
Yep.
Sam Darnold, that draft class, insane that he's the first one to win a Super Bowl.
That is crazy.
Crazy. What other football news?
That's it.
That's it. Now we transition from the fantasy part of the show to the fantasy part of the show.
Yes.
We got it.
You might have seen what book we were holding up earlier. We talked about it last podcast episode. The Strength of the Few.
Yes.
We've each read 10 chapters. We're going to talk about that later, but we're going to talk about some other things first. We'll finish with that. That way, because we'll get obviously into spoilers, so we'll keep that to the end of the episode.
Yes.
But first, we got to talk about something that isn't necessarily brand new, but it's still new enough, is the Brandon Sanderson news.
Yes.
Speaking of.
Yes. Look at him. He comes prepared.
That's right. Brandon Sanderson signed a monumental deal with Apple TV for his Mistborn series and Stormlight Archive series. Mistborn is going to be feature films like movies, and then Stormlight is going to be TV show.
TV series, yeah.
And they're both live action, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How do you feel overall?
Obviously, like most people, excited that a deal finally got done.
Yes.
It feels like Apple TV was a good bet just because they make some really quality TV shows. At least, I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of like Apple TV movies.
I haven't either.
But their TV shows are fantastic. And what I like is that they have a lot of fantasy and sci-fi shows that are live action already. So like having those things incorporated into it, like they do it really well.
Yes. I'm
very excited. Yeah.
I love Apple TV. Also, like some of my favorite shows of the last 5 years have been Apple TV. And like you said, they seem to do really high quality stuff. They don't like put as much out there, I think. Not like a Netflix kind of approach where something will stick type of thing. So I'm very excited for that. But like you said, I don't know. I can't even think of a single Apple TV movie that I've watched, but I have faith. Yeah. But what's so special about the deal is that Sanderson like retained a lot of power in this.
Yeah. Which was always his main goal, I think. Like obviously he wanted it to be done well, but another one of his main goals was definitely that he would have like final say on a lot of things, especially like editorial choices.
Yes.
And creative choices. So it's not like they could just leave out a character.
Yeah.
Or like rewrite a character without his approval.
Right. Have I told you about my my qualms with the Wheel of Time show? Like my biggest qualm? So. Okay, so are you familiar with the Wheel of Time, the series?
Nope.
It is it's like regarded as one of the greatest or most popular, most loved epic fantasy series out there.
Yeah. Well, I did know that about it. I just I don't know like the story at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But of course, like I've heard of it. Yeah.
I'm going to give you can I give you a quick spoiler to explain this story?
Sure.
This happens in like within the first 5 to 10 chapters of the book, to be fair. But it's like the jumping off point. But I read the first book and then immediately watched the first season of the show, which was a huge mistake just because there's going to be differences and I couldn't like look away from those. But there were some like egregious changes in my opinion. One of them being this story, at least in the beginning, follows 3 like later age teenage boys, like 19, I think, ish. And they're like on a farm town One of them is a blacksmith apprentice, and the book starts by these like monsters attacking their town and like killing a bunch of people, and they have to run for their lives. The blacksmith apprentice, while he has this big axe that's his main weapon. He's like trying to kill them. They're infiltrating his workshop, and he swings and misses and accidentally stabs his blacksmith like master in the chest and kills him. It's like a huge deal in the book. It's like, oh my god. So that kind of like haunts him as he goes forward. He kind of actually doesn't talk, but anyway, in the show,
yeah,
they changed it to his wife.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Which I'm like,
way worse.
Way worse. Fundamentally changes a person. And then like I'm pretty sure that this character is gonna have some love interest stuff later in the series. And that going from like just being a teenager who had a couple girlfriends to like he was married and accidentally killed his own wife. That happened in like the first 5 minutes of season 1, episode 1 in the show. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, you're like, here we go.
So at least I know that type of thing won't happen with.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, Sanderson was involved in the Wheel of Time. He just didn't have any. Like he openly has talked about how he didn't agree with some of the changes made, but he didn't have any power in it.
Yeah. Well, and part of what helps with the both Mistborn and Stormlight, it sounds like they're going to do Mistborn first. But he's writing the adaptation himself.
Yeah, the screenplay. I know. I'm curious how it's going to be.
Yeah, and then I think when we first talked about it when we were texting, I was like, it'll be interesting if his fan, because a lot of these adaptations, like the fans are like, oh, what the heck, like they messed it up or they left this part out.
Yes.
They changed that, and then the authors are just like, well, sorry, like.
Yeah,
it wasn't up to me, but now it'll be interesting how this. Now I'm sure he's gonna. I am sure he's gonna do it justice, but it'll be interesting to see if fans like don't like it because it's gonna be him that did it. Like, so if it's like you don't like it, he's the one that wrote it. Yeah,
that because you were like, what if it sucks? I was like,
I know. I mean, what if?
Yeah. What if it's like Sanderson's just really good at book form media, but not movies? You're like, no.
I'm sure, and he'll obviously he'll have editors and people that will look at it and be like, well, like, yeah, maybe this makes sense or this has to flow this way. But I don't envision he'll like do anything like the Harry Potter movies, leaving out like Peeves or something like so major that it's just like, you know, I definitely don't envision Sanderson being the type to be like, oh, in the movie adaptation, Ellen Venture is really going to be Elinda Venture, and like, a girl, you know, or like there's probably not going to be anything.
That's true. I didn't even think about that
major at all. So, I think what will matter a lot more is the casting, because like I don't know, man, the Twilight books were huge and the movies were still huge, but we can all agree like the acting in Twilight, even though they have like actors who are now more considered like very good,
right?
But those actors were just
horrible,
in my opinion, garbage.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think overall, I'm super excited. I'm so pumped. I mean, I've been wanting something like this since I read my first Sanderson book. It's like I feel like we are entering the renaissance of fantasy. Like we've been entering it, and I think we're the next 5 years going to hit it even more, and then we're going to be in it.
Yeah.
But over under 2030 when this stuff comes out.
I'm taking the over on that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking the over. Which one do you think you'll like more? You think you'll like the Mistborn movies or the Stormlight show?
I feel like the Mistborn movies, just the setting could be so cool if it's done well.
Yeah.
That like dark fantasy kind of thing with the Overlord and all that, and like the metal. I feel like I probably will like that more. I love Stormlight, and being a show, you can like do character arcs way more thoroughly. And there's also like so many cool things in Stormlight. I mean, like the storms. I would love to see how they're going to depict the storms and all that stuff. What about you?
I like movies. I tend to like movies more. So I'm thinking I'll probably like the movies more.
Yeah.
Mistborn, but I will say I don't think Mistborn has a good chance. Like, I think there's a very small percentage chance that Mistborn movies would reach the level of like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Right.
But I do think the Stormlight show has a chance to like do Game of Thrones. Like,
I agree.
To be on that level.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
to like change the landscape of viewing. Yeah, that's true.
By the time I read the rest of the Stormlight books, it might be just about time for that show to be starting up.
Yeah, seriously.
But
one thing that I saw from my friends who are like obsessed with Sanderson and it's funny because it's probably the same thing people said about Game of Thrones, is like people are like, hey, now that Sanderson signed this deal, we have definitive like dates that he'll have to finish the series by, because he'll have to finish the next 5 books by the time the series is done. I was like, well, people probably said that to George R.R. Martin as well, and we know what happened.
Right.
But I have no doubt that Sanderson will finish the series. Like, there's no way he doesn't.
He talked about it on Reddit, on like his Reddit, and he seemed very certain and sure and reassuring that like he did the timeline and figured it out and we'll get it done.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
And dude,
we just got to get the real one I'm waiting for is like, because you're definitely a bigger Sanderson fan than I am. Not that I'm not a fan of his, but
right.
The TV series we're really waiting for.
Oh yeah. Red Rising,
dude.
Oh
yeah. I need that.
There's this guy on TikTok that does these like fake movie pitches or fake show pitches, and he'll like he's like standing in front of a group and he'll describe the first scene, and then like after he describes the scene, he'll say what project, like what entity it is. So like as the viewer, you're like not sure, but dude, he did one for Red Rising, and it was like an Iron Rain, and it sounded so cool. Even when he was doing it, I was like picturing it in my head. I'm like, yes, give it to me, yes, please.
Yeah.
I would love it. And I honestly think with this Sanderson deal, even if it takes 5 years or whatever to have the first one hit the screen, if it does well, it's going to open the door for all of these other fantasy and science fiction entities.
Yes. Yeah. Because the biggest one we've gotten, not really true. But obviously Dune has done super, super well. And those movies are really good. Dune Part 1 and 2. They're redoing like Percy Jackson, which I've not read or watched Percy Jackson, but it's doing well. Like Rings of Power's doing well.
Yeah.
Apparently maybe this Wheel of Time isn't, but
it got canceled. It got canceled.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, after 3 seasons. It was not. There were a lot of issues, and fans were. It's bad when your fan base is split, because like I feel like if your core fans don't like it, then the broader fans aren't gonna like it either.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Now, speaking of adaptations,
more news came down the pipeline.
Yeah.
So, Sony Pictures, and this kind of came out of nowhere because I texted you about this too, but Sony Pictures officially acquired film adaptation rights to the fantasy series, The Hierarchy, which is James Arlington's Will of the Many and Strength of the Few, already is gonna get adapted. So
that's crazy. to me.
no idea what any of like the stipulations were. I mean, I can't because I just don't know. So it would only be speculation to say like, oh, this happened like really fast and he probably like who knows if there was due diligence done, but I'm sure there was, and maybe not to the level of like Sanderson, but also like maybe some authors like are like, I don't want to commit to doing all that. So
True.
just
That's very true.
go ahead and make it. So we'll see.
Yeah. I was shocked to hear that from you because the series isn't done. And like I know that like Game of Thrones wasn't done, Stormlight's not done, but I'm just surprised. It's like, what if people don't receive the other books well? But I mean, the second book is cooking.
Doesn't matter. You're gonna get a movie unless it's like so bad. But yeah, the second book is positively cooking. So
oh yeah,
shall we get into
Let's do it. Let's do like a quick non-spoiler, just like thoughts so far, vibes.
Okay.
And then we'll do spoilers.
All right. You want to go or you want me to go?
You can go first.
Okay. So far, the vibes are cooking with fish grease.
Yeah.
So it's moving a lot faster than the first one.
Oh yeah.
For sure. And it's like there's still a lot of mystery and like things you don't know.
A lot.
But events are happening quickly. Like new things, new events.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like the scene is set and then there's just like slow developing story going on. Like
right.
Things are happening. And
yeah,
I'm enjoying
like
that.
this is a 700-page book. We are 100 pages about in, and like you said, stuff is happening. A lot of stuff.
Yes.
I am loving it so far. I'm loving it just as much as I loved the first book. One thing, without spoiling anything, if you've read the first book, you probably had the same thoughts I did, and probably you did, where it's like, how the hell is he going to tell this story? Like, how logistically is this going to work? And I'm very pleased so far with it. But when we get into the spoilers, I am too. I have some things I'm curious about, like moving forward.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. But no, I totally agree. Because we kind of talked about it before too. We're like, I wonder how it's gonna be with him, like the way he's gonna tell the story. Like, will we know certain things? Like, is it gonna be a little bit of a guess game or anything like that? But
right.
I think it's been really cool, and I like too that there was like a little bit of guesswork involved. But then the way that he executed it, it's like, okay, now like you kind of get it, and then you're like rolling with it.
Oh, dang. Yeah. Now, I'll say this too, because for any of you out there who've maybe haven't read the series, or maybe you've read the first book and you're curious about the second. So far, like we said, it's great. It's just as good. I'm excited. I'm excited to read more. So yeah, definitely worth picking it up and starting it.
Yes.
And I honestly think I know, like, I'm someone who I'll pick up a series and I'll read the first book and then like read some other series and then come back and read the second book and then read something else. I actually suggest that you finish the first one and fairly quickly go on to the second one, because there's a lot of info. It's epic fantasy, so like you're gonna want that fresh in your mind.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely second that.
Yeah. Should we get into spoilers? Spoilers. So we are 10. You've read 10. I've read 13, but we're only going to talk about the first 10.
Yes.
And wow, there's a lot of shit going on.
So with the spoilers now. So on so the book jacket is reversible.
Yeah.
And Colby is showing you I don't know what you call it. Like it comes that way with the
outward facing jacket
pyramid and everything. Yeah. And so the reversible side is this one. And what is interesting about this one,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, is if you notice,
Oh, I didn't
there
even notice
is
that.
a triangle here, and you've got a symbol that's different in each corner. And then once you start reading the chapters, so this is what we were kind of curious about, is when you would go in, would it just say like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then you would have to learn and figure out and pick up on who is in Res versus Obitium versus Lucium or Lucium.
Yeah.
But what he did was on each chapter, it does just say, like, the chapter has the chapter number, and then it has a symbol, but the symbols correspond to which world you are on. Yes. So that's what you get. And then that corresponds to what world you're on. Now, there was still a little bit of like figuring out, because as you read, like the characters will either say it or something will give it away, like just where they are, or you just know by the context which world you're on. And then you can kind of decode that and be like, okay, now I know which like symbol is which. So as you read the chapters. Now, for those of you who might want to do the audio book, you will not know that because I can tell you right now, the guy doesn't say it. But I mean, again, if you listen to it enough, you'll be able to figure out that, like, depending on which characters are talking, you're like, okay, this is where they are. So I thought that was really cool. The way
I like that too. You know what else I like about that is, because that was my main thing. I'm like, so at the end of book 1, Viz hits synchronism and gets split into 3 versions of himself on 3 different worlds, like identical copies of himself. I'm like, how is he going to do this? This book is either going to be massive or stuff is going to have to happen all the time. And so far, stuff is happening all the time, and I love it. Which is all the time. It's one of those reads where it's like perfect for a reader, because you finish the chapter of one world and you're like, oh, I want to know what happened next. But then you're like, oh, wait, I'm getting back to this world where this thing just happened. I have to know what happens next. So then you just like never want to put the book down.
That's true.
I also appreciate that it doesn't do like a 1-to-1-to-1 switch. Like it'll tell the like scene, even if it's like 3 chapters in one world before it goes back to the other. Because that always, I'm like, it doesn't flow as well when they just try to go do 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 do. Yeah,
I agree.
I was just gonna say we should talk about like each world and what we think's going on, or what's happened and what we think's gonna happen.
Yeah, real quick before I forget, you probably were gonna bring this up, or it might have just come up, but I wanted to like really freaked out because I was listening to it in the car on the audiobook, and Kelly was next to me, and I literally like had to pause it, and she's like, what? And I was like, you're not gonna understand any of this, but just know I was right. And then or like we were right, and then we were talking, and then I like explained it to her, like Colby and I were talking about this, and we thought it was gonna be like this, but we were right because we said this, and then that's what happened. So when Sarah says that you can't undergo if you're already seated.
Hang on a second, Chris. Am I lagging or are you lagging?
You've been lagging the whole time to me.
Okay, I think you've been lagging the whole time to me. So I think it's maybe, I don't know if it's my end or what, but I heard everything you said except when Seor, but you're better now.
Okay. Yeah, you are better now too, because you went off my screen for a hot minute. Okay. So, welcome back. It was the part where Seror tells, like every time I say his name, it's different. I know. And I'm like, I can't remember how to say it. Seror. So he tells Vis that you can't go through synchronism if you have already been seeding Will.
Yes.
Which is something that we guessed
Yes.
I think I remember I was like, I wonder if it's like maybe if you are seeding Will or like using
Yeah.
Will, you can't
It
go
was
through the
definitely
gate.
you
And
that you said it, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I bet you're right." Yeah.
turns out we were correct. Yes.
Yes, that was
That
cool.
was a huge thing. Yeah.
The other thing that I don't think we got it exactly right, but we both were like really suspicious about it was, and this is a major event, so this is a major spoiler, but Linestia at the end of the most recent Res chapter, like she had a headache all day or for like a week, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. She didn't seem like herself. They go to the Aurora Column for Viz to like seed for the first time ever. And right when he does it, she like snaps and turns into one of those freaking things that like uh guards the labyrinth. And she's like, complete your journey,
Oh,
warrior.
hold on.
And
You cut way out again.
oh
So yeah. I heard you say, so at the Aurora Colonna, she has the headache all day.
yeah,
He starts to
like
he like
seed
starts
his
to do the
will.
thing. Yeah, and then
And
what happens?
she turns into one of the like people guarding the labyrinth, and she starts saying like, complete your journey, warrior. Or is that what she says? Yeah.
Yeah.
Complete your
Uh-huh.
journey. And then she like tries to kill him or starts killing other people. And
Yeah, she starts like destroying like the entire guard that's
yeah,
there.
dude,
Yeah.
so we don't know any more than just that. That's all we know. The chapter ended with Olkiskor like pinning her down with imbued chains.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What the hell?
Dude, that's crazy. So, no, I'm glad you remembered that because during that whole scene, I'm like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. But then her saying, like, complete the journey, warrior, like, I could not remember that that was from
Yeah.
what they were saying. So, was it the people that were like, was it the ones that were enslaved to the gate where
Yes.
like they would pop up, they would say that to him? Or was it when he was running, when he ran out? Was it those ones
Ooh.
saying that to him?
You know what? Actually, I think it was the. Remember on Res when he like in book 1, when he was starting to synchronize for the like on the
Yeah,
Res side, there was like these cloaked people that showed up and were saying like complete the journey. I think is what it
that's
was.
what it was. Okay, I think you're right.
Yeah, but I have always thought, and I told this to you, I was like, Lenestia's eyes are so too much like the people that are there. I'm like, I think
Mhm.
something happened to her. She was gonna get corrupted like Viz's arm was before they cut it off. And like it just never got fully completed. But for whatever reason, my theory, because Okiskru said she'd been having a headache for a week, which lines up with when Viz synchronized for the first time. So I think when
Mhm.
he does that, it like triggered her like corruption to start completing it. So I think that for whatever reason, like she's fully screwed.
Oh, that's interesting. Because Roar tells, like, he goes into like lengthy explanations
Yeah.
about some of those things in the way that the concurrence like uses will, and then like explaining or try to explain like what they think or like how the gate works
Yes.
and what happens to people and how the concurrence like why those people got stuck at the gate, um
Yeah. Oh, there's so much that we're
and
learning from him, but it's
all
like,
that. Yes.
oh, that reminds me. I have another question. I'm curious what you think. So now we
Uh-huh.
know, like Sierra told him that there's 3 versions of this like overlord guy, one on each
Yeah.
world. And killing
Uh-huh.
one of them is all they need to do, right? Because as soon as they desynchronize,
Yes.
he can't control them.
Mhm.
So we know that on Obidium, it's like Farak or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
On Lucium, it's most likely the Fa guy. Or maybe I have those switched, but basically the same guy. Like the one
I see.
chasing-
Yeah, Fa on Obitium, and then it's Rock or whatever on
Yeah.
Lucium. Yeah, Lucium.
On Rez, do we think it's the guy that he saw in book 1? That like saw him at the end in the tower and like was like, "You're gonna lose that arm," and then like disappeared magically.
Oh, wow, man! Yeah,
That's
I
that's my only
didn't
guess.
even think about that. That's a good guess because obviously that person knew about synchronism.
Yeah.
What if it's like the leader of the Anguis or something?
Well, that's what I'm wondering because
Or maybe that's who that was, though. Yeah.
because I mean he was talking to Relukia, and that when he eavesdropped on them in
Mhm.
book 1. I just found the chapter where it says complete the journey, warrior. I'm trying to figure out
In
if
book
that's-
1.
Yeah. So it is after.
I
It's
find it
after
that
he's.
fast. Uh-huh.
I knew it was at the end of the book. So it's after the weight and the run shows up on his arm, and he starts to run, and there's a dozen of these things blocking his way, and they say, "Complete the journey, warrior." There's a dozen of them crowding the way in front of me, and they like try not to let him go through, but then he makes it. Oh, that's right, because then the dog shows up and starts saving his life.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's after he's already synchronized, but they're still saying it for some reason. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, complete the journey. So Sewer's like, if you would have, so they had to say wait, because if he didn't wait, he would have died. But then at the right moment, he runs.
Yes.
And then if he doesn't run, he would have died. But what journey is he supposed to complete?
I know.
If he's running away, but he still achieves synchronism. So clearly, like, whatever.
Maybe it's something like
he did.
I wonder if it used to be used as a gate to like travel between worlds, and you're not really supposed to be able to like copy yourself. Like only people that haven't seeded will make copies. Maybe it's more like if you've already seeded will and you do this, you just get teleported to another world.
Mhm.
Like maybe that's what happened to Sea-Roar.
Yeah.
Because he'd already seeded. But because otherwise there would be 3 versions of Sea-Roar.
Yeah, so that's another interesting thing that I thought about, is that there is only the one version of Sea-Roar, and we know that if something happens to you on one side, it like bleeds through, which we're not really sure what like that means.
Yeah.
Like, does it mean like if you die in one world, you die in the other ones, or
Right.
what does bleed through mean? And then if Lannistia, like, was she copied? Or
I
is
know,
that
that's
the
what I'm
only version
wondering.
of her? But if she also tried to go through the gate, like Sewer was copied, or not copied, but if he just teleported.
Yeah. Maybe like
Now you're back.
Yeah.
But if he just teleported, why didn't she teleport?
Right.
Too? Oh, so many questions.
I know there's so many questions. Maybe it has to do with certain like how much will you were seeding or something like that. Like maybe she was seeding too much and it almost killed her. It almost like corrupted her.
Yeah.
And maybe he was, but not as much or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe the gate needs like, he explains that originally, so they don't know which world was the original world.
True.
Right? And so
yeah, true.
They just know that the world got copied identically with 2 extra copies, so 3 worlds. And so maybe the gate got copied too. And so maybe there's something to do with there being 3 separate gates. And the whole reason they copied the world was so that the concurrence, its powers with Will would be spread thin. And now then he explains how Will then works differently on each world, right? And so by doing that, they essentially split the concurrence's power, which allowed them to like fight back somewhat.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we still don't know why there are 2 ruins. Like, he said something about one of the ruins near the school and then the one that he actually traveled through. Like, was it just a copy? Like, was it just a study that Viridius was using to like study it? Or was it actually another gate?
I don't know. I think it was the ruins by the school is what was built by the architects or engineers or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Prevent the cataclysm, but like it didn't work.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Another thing.
Then there's all this stuff with this obsidian.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, obsidian is clearly important.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't? I'm curious if we're gonna learn why. Why did he lose his arm in 2 of the worlds, but not one of them? You know, like why is he in Obidium with both of his arms fine, but like he woke up and, I think I know where you're going.
Maybe that's our clue that Obitium is the original world.
I think it is, dude. That's what that's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, maybe that's the clue.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah.
Especially with the giant ass pyramid and how he had the vision of the pyramid when he was at the mnemonica or whatever you say it, when he had to kill his former Seuss guy.
Makia. Yeah.
Yeah. He like had the vision of it. I guess he also had the vision of, I think it was all the stuff he saw was Obidium. I'm pretty sure. Obitium,
yeah. Because he tells Sior that he had the vision of that and like knew it. But then Sior tells him that's not the only one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're all on Obitium. I think he was. I think Sior was saying that wasn't the only one on Obitium. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much. I'm just excited to learn. Even in like these next couple chapters that I've read that you haven't, you're gonna learn new things. That it's like what?
So to your earlier point. So basically, what we know on Res. So Res is, from our perspective, the original world. So Res is where the entire first book takes place, except the very, 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 very end.
Yeah.
When this achieves synchronism. So on Res now, he is recovering from the Eutychium. He's recovering from the Eutychium, and things are kind of happening slowly, but things that you expected to happen because you just knew. So basically, he won the Catanicus,
Dominus,
and Domitor. So he gets to choose. So basically, he finished like top of the class, like number 1. So he gets to choose where which branch of government he works in, and he chose government instead of military, which everyone thought he would choose military, the whole thing. But in book 1 that he like plans to choose governance because of what Calidus was like kind of uncovering through governance's like census records and things like that, and also a little bit to stick it to Olkey's court, and also a little bit just to honor Calidus by like working for his father. Yeah. So there's that going on, and then just like regular events, like he was going to have to go to the Aurora Columna and then start seating Will in order to like get his position within the hierarchy, and then he's like talking to Okizcore, he's talking to Viridius, he's just like sort of debriefing from everything and like getting ready for this transition. And then that shit with Linistia hits the
Yeah.
fan
Yeah.
when he goes to do that. And so like that's where chapter 10 basically ends.
Yeah.
And then in Obitium, he's been with Sarah. So Obitium definitely seems, I would say, out of the three worlds, I mean, obviously compared to like Rez, but even on Lucium, where like Cyril pretty much says the concurrence like one here. So Obitium is not safe. And there's a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of different will devices, a lot of different ways it works. But basically, he's traveling with Cyril, and Cyril's like, this is why I was sent here. This is like the plan with Viridius is to kill this god, kill this person, the concurrence, to prevent the next cataclysm. But it's still all kind of a guess as to if that's going to work or not. And then on Lucium, that makes the least amount of sense what's happening. But basically, he wakes up on a ship and he's being taken to like this clan or something, and their plan is to kill him because he's a stranger. But then this one member named Cian like devises his plan to help him escape and take him to someone he is supposedly knows.
Yes.
So that is another thing.
I know. I'm like, who's this gonna be?
Who is it gonna be? Right? Like, is it a copy of someone else? Is it like, oh, who knows? Like, is it Cyril or is
what does your gut tell you?
Oh my gosh. My gut tells me it's something to do with the Anguis. Because so far, the Anguis haven't, like, on Rez, you see, what's her name? Okiscore's wife.
Relukia.
So you see Relukia, but she's just like, hello. And then, like, that's it. But there's not really been anything about the Anguis. And so I think it has to do something with that.
All right, hear me out. I think I know what it is.
Okay.
I think it's Cyror, and here's why. I just thought about this. It's not like Cyror's body disappeared from Rez. Like, his body was there and then, like, unalived itself. I don't think you can say that. Over the cliff. So, like, they found his body. Which maybe that's, like, when he said, like, wait, maybe it's because the original Cyror didn't wait and it killed him. And, like, Viridius saw that. Yeah. But maybe he survived in the other world too, and that's who he's going to see.
That's a good point. I forgot. I thought the whole see, and this is why we told you people, if you read the first book, immediately go into the second one.
Yeah, which I did. Chris had to wait for me to read it, so he took like 4 months off or something.
Yeah, a couple months. So I was under the impression the whole time, like from what I remembered wrongly, apparently, was that Okiscore was like, they say because they were saying that he unalived himself.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I was remembering as it like he disappeared, like they couldn't find him, and they just were like, oh, he must have.
Yeah, I'm second guessing myself now, but I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
In book 1, they go to the crypts. They like go to his tomb.
Yes.
Because he carried Linistia's body. Viridius carried Linistia's body back to the academy. And she was like messed up. And was like, this is what... he blamed it on Cyror. And said he unalived himself. Yeah, all right. Here's something I just want to bring this up. That I'm really curious how he's going to do in the writing. Because we have 3 versions of Viz now. And, like, it's still early in the story. A lot of stuff is happening to him in these other worlds. And you can tell that, like, a lot of stuff is going to keep happening to him. So I'm really curious to see how his character arc in these 3 different worlds differ. And how that's going to, like, change him as a person. and how he's gonna write that well. Where it's like we're gonna get
Yeah.
this like hardened version of him, this like weak version of him, or like political version of him, not weak, and like whatever else is gonna happen. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. How he'll like slowly change based
Yeah.
on his
And
surroundings, his environment. Yeah.
yeah, because like right now, each chapter, I'm like, this is the exact version of him just reacting to this other stuff. But farther
Yeah.
down the line, we're gonna have like 3 different Vizes, like distinctly different people.
Yeah.
I think
Now,
that could be
Sewer
cool.
says most of what Sewer says to this, like he does say, like, this is our best like guess based on what we've
Yeah,
been able to learn. And one of the
true.
things, so you have to take everything Sewer says with like a little bit of like he says this works this way or this can't
True.
happen, but maybe it can, right?
Mhm.
So one of the things Sewer says is that once once you're like copied, like you can't, like you're stuck there, like there's
Yes.
no like coalescing back together
Yes.
or traveling or anything like that. And so I wonder how the 3 worlds will be tied back together,
I know,
like
dude.
how you'll see changes on one affect another, or if we
Yes.
do,
Because eventually you think it would have to. Like,
it would
what
have
else
to.
would the story be?
Yeah. And also, why wasn't Sewer like, well, maybe that makes sense. So if your theory is right, that Sewer was achieved synchronism and was able to get copied,
Yeah.
then on Obatium, he wouldn't have any issues,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I was kind of thinking like if Linestia lost her eyes and Vis lost his arm, like why didn't Sewer? But if he got copied to Obatium, then he wouldn't have any
Yeah, you're right.
like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think also to our theory of Obatium possibly being like the original world, I think the fact that the concurrence won there. Are you frozen or am I frozen?
You're frozen on mine. You're cutting out. You're good now though.
Okay. I think more evidence to Obatium being the original world is that the concurrence won there. Because I feel like the original world would be the most susceptible to losing the battle. And then like it
Yes.
splits to save that. So yeah, maybe that's right. You get like synchronized and you contain your whole self in that world. So maybe that is why Seor is alive there and seemingly in one piece. Yeah.
What if, I just had a thought. What if the reason Sewer died on Rez was because he and Lannistia were corrupted, and part of the reason Lannistia can use her will so well is because Seor ceded all of his to her to save her.
Oh, ooh. That's interesting. And perhaps Viz doing synchronism like messed that up somehow.
Or maybe
I think it's too much of a coincidence that her.
maybe because like, the gate was like active, yeah, and something happened.
Yeah. Because I think
But then
it's too much.
she had the headache, but then it went crazy when he was trying to
Doing it.
seed. Yeah.
And he talks about the feeling he got when he touched it is the same feeling he got after he had like gone through the portal.
Mm-hmm. And
So
when the Anguisse attacked.
Right. Which was after the portal, I believe. Or maybe it wasn't.
I thought he was talking about at the Namakea when the Anguisse attacked, that it was that pulsing he felt.
That's what it was. You're right. You're right. Yeah. That's true. That means the Anguisse have something. I mean, they do. We don't know where that magic came from still,
Yeah.
that power.
Yeah.
There's
So
so much.
there's so much. And see, that's what we're telling you, people. Like,
But it's
so much is
amazing.
happening. But it's amazing. So much is happening and so many questions. I had the thought though, when you were like saying how you thought, like trying to guess who this like concurrence leader was on the
Yeah.
other world, and
Yeah.
that maybe it could be the leader of the Anguis. So like the Anguis are seen as like the main opposition to the hierarchy.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of what happened at the Namakea was that they were just killing as many hierarchy as they could.
That's true.
Right? And so they're like, oh, well, the hierarchy is evil. But what if it is kind of a classic, like, yeah, the hierarchy has like colloquial issues because it's still like a government and it's been thousands of years and they don't know what their history is.
Yeah.
In terms of like the cataclysm of the concurrence. And so the Anguis could be like the concurrence.
That's
And
very
it's
well.
set up to look like it's really just a rebellion against the evil hierarchy.
Yeah. That's a good point. What I don't get is clearly these two concurrents, like the Fa and Varuk, are extremely powerful in their worlds, like oppressive leaders powerful. But why is that not the case on Rez? Like, he's there, we know he's there, but
Yeah.
he's not like some tyrannical oppressing overlord.
Yeah, well, it could just be because Rez, like the people of Rez just were able to resist better, or maybe something to do with the Aurora Columni. Because that was another thing that Okiscore said, that they've been glowing more and more and more, right?
Yeah. Or they lost their glow.
Yeah. Or maybe like part of the hierarchy's like colonization and trying to take over like all the areas on Rez was really like their attempt to say, hey, you know, with the way that will works on Rez, we need to make sure that everywhere is under the hierarchy to help root out the concurrence.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's so much.
So much.
I'm so excited. So let's decide. Because we read to page 100. If we went another 100 pages, that would take us to chapter 24 on page exactly 200. XXIV is 24, right? Look, everybody, look, viewers. This is in Roman numerals, and I am not good at that.
Colby's dumb.
I'm dumb. I don't think I told you this because my friend here is also reading this at the same time. I think he's way ahead of us, but we read the Will.
Oh, is he really? You did not tell me that. Yeah.
Well, I told him that we were gonna do like 100 pages every 2 weeks, and not even joking, 2 days later, he's like, Colby, I'm on page 107. I was like, oh my god.
All right. Page 200 is exactly 24.
Yeah. When we were
I'll
reading
do my best.
When we were reading the Will of the Many, he was like, what chapter are you on? And I was like, I'm on chapter 63. And he like was about to start talking about things, and I'm like, and that's like, and I said the symbols, and he was like, oh no, that's 50. He's like, that's 53. He's like, I almost just spoiled 10 chapters worth of stuff.
Oh my god, that would have been awful.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, any final thoughts on the first 100 pages before we close out?
Before we log off. No, man, it's just like it's like more questions than every answer there's 10 more questions.
Yeah. But it's in a very satisfying way. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I am too. I really
We didn't even really talk about Lucium at all. And like all this
yeah.
going on there.
Because we got caught up with Rez
Yeah.
and what happened with Sayor. Okay, so last little bit of what's going on Lucium. So this wakes up on the boat. There's these men on the boat, and he kind of figures out, okay, well, first of all, they don't like speak any language he speaks, except for one of them that he can already tell is separate from the other ones. Like he could tell they're guards, and this other one like isn't really like that. And he speaks a little Vetusian, just one language, not very well, and Vis doesn't really speak it well.
Yeah.
But it's the only way they can communicate. So this one's name is Cian, and Cian basically, in so many words, tells Vis where we are going. They want to murder you. I'm going to make sure that you can escape to take you to someone that knows who you are, but he doesn't say who. And so they go there. He has Vis drink this unknown substance, and it's basically like you will go into a deep sleep, and when you wake up, you will feel much improved, and also it's going to be time to dip up on out of here.
Yeah.
So Vis reluctantly takes it, falls asleep, wakes up, and these guards wake him up, and they're walking out, and then Cian comes and dispatches of the guards, and is like, takes Vis and is like, it's time to go. So they go, and he's basically, they have like a horse waiting for them, or two horses, but because Vis doesn't have an arm, he can't ride. So he has to ride with Cian, and they ride and ride and ride and ride to get away. And he's like, who wants to kill me? And they say this King Rook person. And that means nothing to us, the readers, or to Vis. And so Cian, they finally get somewhere, like a village or something like that. But the king's men catch up to them, and Cian, who you think is going to be a central character to this plot, gets Game of Thrones big time. And you think something epic's going to happen, and something epic does happen, just in the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
That you think it's going to happen.
Not in your
Cian gets
favor.
decapitated. And that's not good news. So then Vis is trapped with the men looking for him, and that's where that's at. We do know that Cian is able to like use will in some way,
and it's very honored.
Yes, it's very honored, but he can somehow, he goes into like, he meditates, and then he somehow can like see, like, so he can meditate, and then he can know what's going on somewhere far away. Basically,
he could meditate. He's dead.
He's permanently meditating. Now, and that's what, at least I know. What's going on Lucium.
I feel like of all the worlds, Lucium is just like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, Lucium is like the least complex, but the most just like
it's like tribal times or shamans. That's like what I pictured as seeing, and like rituals and all this stuff. But yeah, it's just like run for your life.
Yeah, he is on the run, and you don't really know. Like, the only two people that can converse in the whole thing is Cian and Vis, and now Cian's gone. So the only person that you can like understand is Vis right now. So
until he finds the guy he knows.
Until he finds the person that he knows. What if it's not even in this book? What if we don't find it? Can you imagine?
Like this book ends with him getting to the person.
Yeah. He gets to the person, and then it's just like, Oh my gosh.
Well,
why
am I so out of focus?
Is that helping?
No, apparently. Oh, there we go. Well, it's been a blast to start it. I'm loving it. I'm ready for the next 200 pages.
Yes, it's gonna be great. we might see you next week. We might see you the week after.
We'll see you at some point.
Either way, you tune in so you can get some more strength of the few follow along spoilers. Football wise, same thing. Not really going to be any discussion on much of the football things.
Not for a while.
Not for a while. So, till next time.
Till next time. Peace.